Hey, what's up guys? John here. President Joe Biden just signed into law one of the most sweeping and aggressive tariff policies on China that has ever existed.
Biden administration announcing today it is raising tariffs on $18 billion of Chinese exports.
That includes things like electric vehicles, batteries, and solar panels even.
Today I'm announcing new tariffs in key sectors of the economy that are going to ensure that our workers are not held back by unfair trade practices.
This is going to impact all 330 million Americans, and the price of everything is about to skyrocket, from electric vehicles to aluminum to solar, everything. Everything is going to be going up at a rapid pace. Look at this. WhiteHouse.gov, May 14th, came out today. China is also flooding global markets with artificially low price exports in response to China's unfair trade practices, and to counteract the resulting harms. Today, President Biden is directing his trade representatives to increase tariffs under Section 301 of the Trade Act of 1974 on $18 billion of imports from China to protect American workers and businesses. Think about this, to protect American workers and businesses. I can almost promise you that if you open up your cabinet at home in your kitchen, you look at the plates, probably made in China. Look at the silverware, probably made in China. The TV on your wall, probably made in China. The iPhone, all the guts of that phone, a lot of that is made in China. Everything is made in China. Most Americans' homes, everything inside the walls, have probably come from China, a large part of it. And so when we start to implement all these tariffs, what we're actually doing is taxing ourselves, because the price is going to go up at a radical rate. And look, I'm going to show you this. Look at this, because this is going to be a game changer when you look at the laws in which they just placed on housing last week. And this is all coming together. You can't make this stuff up. We're walking into the greatest rug pull in American history, and it's happening now. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. YouTube will share the content, educate more people, know what's going on in our economy. If you'd like to fix your credit, to position yourself what I believe is going to be an amazing opportunity to invest in distressed real estate, to buy businesses, to expand businesses, everything is going to change because of this. We'd love to help you if you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, any issue like that on your credit report. Go to GreatCreditFast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free call for tomorrow. Take a look at this. So this is crazy. 25 to 100% tariff on electric vehicles. EV batteries, 7.5% to 25%. Solar cells, from 25% to 50%. Steel and aluminum, from 0 to 7.5% to 25%. So the Francis Scott Key Bridge, that's going to be probably the most expensive bridge in history to get fixed. You think about what it's going to cost building homes, building skyscrapers, building large-scale apartment buildings, buying electric vehicles. I mean, we're going to see a major shift in everything because of this. China is one of the leaders in exports. And when we start to implement all these tariffs on the back of issuing all of these restrictions on Russia, seizing assets, we're positioning all these BRICS nations to look for alternatives. And it's going to give them the perfect reason to do all of this, which I believe is coming right now. I mean, for example, they just settled $4 billion in local trade, local currencies 10 hours ago. This is where we're headed. But look at what this is going to mean for real estate. If you own a home, if you're thinking of buying a home, if you're a home builder, look at this. This is on the National Association of Home Builders website. This all goes into law on the 28th. The effective date is on the 28th. So you're looking at about 15 days from now, 14 days from now. Look at this. So what this is going to mean is that it's going to increase the cost $31,000 per home. $31,000 per home to electrify the property, to issue, to make these homes a little bit more climate friendly, is what they're saying. $31,000, yet all the materials that Americans will need for this is going to be going up. So is it going to be 31,000? It's going to be 35,000? Is it going to be 50, 60,000? Right? What is the number going to be? It's going to be more than 31,000. Even at $31,000, what they project is, according to the National Association of Home Builders, it will take 90 years to receive the payback on those funds, not accounting for inflation. 90 years. So you think about what this is going to mean. What I believe this is going to mean is that we are going to see a lot less homes being built. And the reason for that is because with high interest rates where they are today, home builders aren't going to be able to afford to sell them at the price in which it would cost them to build and to comply with these new standards. And so as this is all happening, another domino falls. We now have the fewest offshore oil and gas leases in history, and our energy prices are going up 14% so far this year. And so when you take into account what's really happening, Jerome Powell says he's not going to cut interest rates until inflation goes down, right? Until he starts to see real change in this economy. Well, how is that going to happen with these changes that are going to be implemented all across America? Well, it's not going to happen. We're going to see inflation go up, and we're going to see more of a reason to keep rates higher for longer. I mean, I wish I was wrong, but on top of this, they do this. $3 trillion will soon be injected into the U.S. economy without any federal spending tweaking or corner the mortgage market. Now, what I think is going to happen is I believe inflation is going to start to get out of control in America. Now, how they're going to be doing this, $3 trillion injection of stimulus is they're going to be giving people equity lines of credit on their homes. Now, initially, they were saying, it might be $1 trillion for equity loans, might be $1 trillion. Some are saying no, it could be $2 trillion by the autumn. But now they're saying, it could potentially hit $3 trillion. So what I think is going to happen is we're going to start to see the middle class bleed out due to all of this money that's going to be flowing through the system, all of these new high found costs that are going to be coming through all of these tariffs. And I think we're going to see a lot of people that have homes start to tap into these equity lines of credit to offset the rising cost of everything. That's what I believe is going to happen. I mean, and on top of this, you have $5.5 trillion in tax hikes that are unfolding right now. So this is the greatest shift of wealth ever in America. Many people are thinking, just got to make 10% more next year to offset the rising cost of inflation. Look, I think people are going to need to think about the world the way it's really moving. I mean, the cost of everything is going up dramatically before all of this. So if everything increased dramatically last year and this year, what will happen next year or the following year? I would imagine it's going to be a multiple. I would imagine things are going to get a lot worse. I would hope it's not the truth. I would hope it's not the case. But it concerns me when I see all of the big companies issuing massive layoffs, subleasing office square footage, closing down offices. Bankruptcies are at all-time highs. We're starting to see all of these changes before all of this starts to go into effect. To me, it's signaling that we're going to walk into a scenario where we're going to see tens of millions of Americans unable to feed their families, begging for government assistance through universal basic income programs and financial assistance welfare programs. And Sam Altman went on a podcast yesterday and saying, he believes that we're going to see a world where, essentially people are going to be able to, they're going to get some compute from, he didn't really dive into the details, some compute from ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is going to give them, each American a little bit of compute that they could sell for money, it seems. Some weird type of concept that he had that he didn't really go into. It says Altman never went into full detail about his universal basic compute idea, but it's hard to imagine that many people will welcome it, particularly if it's an alternative to receiving monthly cash payments. Altman still offered support for traditional UBI. Well, last month, you have NBC News saying free cash programs spread as more cities expand anti-poverty safety net. Now, we hear a lot about inequality, inequity, sustainability, a lot of these words, right? Well, April 13th, about a month ago, you're starting to see this trend, this movement towards this. Elon Musk, in 2023, November 6th, and then again, March 18th, 2024, saying the same thing, the same concept. And what he said in 2023 is Elon Musk says AI will remove need for jobs and create universal high income. But workers don't want to wait for robots to get financial relief. Then Elon Musk predicts a high universal income as jobs are phased out and employment becomes obsolete. It'll be somewhat of an equalizer. Now, what I think is going to happen, universal basic income is less radical than you may think. They've been putting this out there the last several years, last 3 to 5 years especially. But for context, there were 11 cities in America offering some sort of pilot program for UBI in 2021. In 2022, it went to 82 cities. And now it's in hundreds of cities. Over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, everything continues to get more and more expensive. And people are going to be demanding relief. They're going to be demanding a solution. And that's what I think we're walking into. The greatest rug pull on American business, the greatest rug pull on Americans that we've ever seen, the greatest change in wealth and freedom that we'll ever witness in our lifetimes is going to unfold over the next 3 to 5 years. So position yourself as best you can now. I believe we're going to see millions of people looking to relocate, getting second passports, buying second properties in different countries, even opening up different bank accounts. I believe this is going to become more normalized over the next couple of years as things start to get more chaotic and we start walking into a lot more change. People are going to start to, take some risk off the table. It's an unfortunate reality. I love America, but there's no denying that America is walking into some really, really dark times. And I think this is going to push a lot of really smart people, a lot of great companies outside of America, and they're going to look to de-risk themselves. What do you think about this entire situation? Let's have a conversation about this below. And if you'd like to fix your credit to position yourself what I believe is going to be the greatest rug pull and the greatest wealth transfer in American history, we'd love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative item on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free call for tomorrow, for Wednesday. Catch you next video.